She's a fashion blogger, model, and entrepreneur.
She's amazing.
The latest tips on fashion, beauty, wellness, travel, and her lifestyle. And now, here's the founder and creator of Not Basic Blonde, Olasha.
Hey girl, I'm so excited to have you on my podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited too. And you're so talented at such a young age and have such amazing experience. I can't wait for you to share how did you start your career with my listeners.
Yeah. Okay. So I really started diving in the world of social media marketing when I was in community college. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I went to this giant like art school or this fashion school. I was in community college when I first got sucked into the world of social. I started working with a local magazine called Girls Life Magazine. I started off by running their Twitter, their Instagram, their Facebook. And I was just like a young, maybe like sophomore who was just like super eager to just like get in the field. My dream was to become this big like fashion editor or like magazine editor somewhere. And so I was just super duper hungry. And so I started to really find my strength in the magazine media world in social. I was one of those people who really loved to write, but I also really developed a passion for graphic design. And I remember being in school and having my teachers be like, girl, when you get to a real magazine or a real media place, you will have to choose between design, like being on the art side and being a writer and being on the writing side. And then, you know, Instagram was born and I was like, okay, I actually don't have to choose anymore. And so I went on to do social for Refinery 29 for a really, really long time. And it really was kind of my stepping stone, my place. I call it kind of my grad school. I didn't go to grad school, but I went to Refinery 29 to join their social team right out of college. And it was there that I really perfected my traffic driving skills with Facebook. I really learned to develop voices and audiences. I helped launch a brand new Instagram account for Refinery called R29 Unbothered. It's dedicated to Black women. But yeah, I was one of those people who like, I didn't really have one place that really housed all of my things I really wanted to do, and Instagram really became that. And so I started pouring into that platform. I was a social media strategist and editor, but Instagram was like kind of obviously like my love. And one day they messaged me and were like, do you want to work here? And I was like, girl, yes, I do. So that's kind of how it came about. I'm a magazine editor gone tech girl.
I'm just amazed by your experience and everything you went through. I've done IT project management too for 9 years before I became, I created my brand and before I became an entrepreneur. And I went to community college too before. I went to Georgia State after, but first because I came to US when I was 17 and I was under 18 to go to college. So I had to kill those years before. So I went to community college and I got scholarship for Georgia State. So I had full scholarship for it.
Beautiful. I love a fellow community college girl. Seriously.
Yeah. And how did you start? I know they messaged you and like it probably was so exciting. You probably were so happy for it. Like, how did you start your career with Instagram and what position do you do now? I mean, I have so many questions about Instagram, but we will dive into it later.
I got you, girl. So it's really, I guess the word is full circle. So Instagram for Business, Meta for Business, that's the team I work on. We're the business marketing sector. So this team, they do a ton of really incredible content for their Instagrams, their Facebook pages to basically teach businesses how to really finesse their game and make the most out of their social presence. Now, they had this series called Social Skills way back in the day. I was still at Refinery, and essentially they like give you a peek behind the curtain of your favorite social media accounts. And so they hit us up. I'm like this editor at Refinery, and they're like, hey, people love Refinery 29, people love Unbothered. We want to know who you are, the person behind the page. And so I started this video for them. And fast forward like 2 years later, when they were hiring, they were looking through literally their content at who they featured, which I thought was just such an interesting pathway to hire. Like that's the world we live in now. Like people are looking at the creators they are hiring to become marketing experts for them. But that's really how I got the job. I'm a content strategist. I essentially dream up posts in my head. I write them down. And I work with our design team and sometimes even our writers to do scripting and things to essentially create reels, carousel posts, Facebook watch posts, anything we post on our Facebook or Instagram is typically an idea that came from myself or the two other awesome women on my content strategy pod. So it's a lot of fun. It's very different than being at a magazine. There's almost a job for everything. Whereas when I was at a magazine as a social editor, I was like, great, I have this idea. Let me go make it and write it and do this. But it's really cool to just kind of be on the hook for thinking.
I love that you can experience and explore your creative side and they actually embrace it. It's an amazing part of it. And what is Meta? Because many people don't even know what it is. I mean, they kind of do, but it's very new. And how do you become Meta creator? Because so many, I've seen the events, you guys do an incredible events for Meta creators. And I'm sure many people would like to be a part of it.
Yeah. So I think when Facebook company changed their name, everybody was kind of like, okay, so what is Facebook now just Facebook, or is Meta, like how does this world come together? And so the best way I can explain it is our company has a bunch of different apps, a bunch of different things to offer. So a lot of people, they think, oh, Meta, they own Facebook and Instagram. Meta works with Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, the Oculus, the headset joint. So like, I think of Meta as this big umbrella that all of these brands sit under. Facebook now is one of those brands that sits under the big Meta umbrella. And so that's kind of how I try to explain it. In terms of becoming a Meta creator, you really have to only have a Facebook page that you're posting on and an Instagram page. They kind of go hand in hand. A lot of Meta creators will automate their content so that whatever they're posting on Instagram or Facebook is going to the other channel and vice versa. As you know now, Facebook has Reels, which is really cool. You don't even always have to create new content. It can be automatically populated from one or the other, but it is a really a new and exciting opportunity for Meta creators because you are opening your content up to a new algorithm stream. So even if you're posting on your Facebook page, you're going to get different views than if you post that same video as a Facebook reel. So essentially, the creator landscape in the Meta umbrella is just growing larger and larger. Technically, I would still consider somebody who is a very well-known seller on like something like a WhatsApp technically is a WhatsApp creator or business, you know. It's just, we always think only of Instagram and Facebook, but it's so many ways to take part in the Meta creator verse.
Interesting, because I thought Meta was only for Instagram and Facebook, but I didn't know that has WhatsApp and all this. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's very, and Facebook has Reels, and I have a few accounts on Instagram because one for my brand, one for my podcast, another one for my academy, the courses, and for community. But all of them have different features, and I see some of the accounts have even 1 minute stories instead of 15 seconds. And another one, I have offers from Instagram to, you can make money by making reels. And about that feature, it's very new, but I see so many people actually do make money on it. And in 2022, Instagram really gone so far with their features and all the things they have now, what's the best way to monetize your content, like on Instagram now? What do you suggest?
So I work there, and I am somebody who uses the Reels rewards system to my benefit. I think back a couple years ago, and I was just posting to grow. And it's really nice to, one, have creators of all sizes kind of be rewarded, not just with followers, but with actual money. So I would say that Reels rewards are a really great place to grow. If you don't have that option on your account, I would suggest, this is the easiest way to find it. If you go to the creator's Instagram account and click their link in bio, the creator's kind of like webpage will, if you're logged into your Instagram or Facebook business account on your desktop, it will show you kind of where you fall in the creator spectrum in terms of like, your account has the access to do this. If it doesn't have the access to do something, it'll like have some little caveat that's like, all you got to do is do this to like get access to what have you. But definitely don't sleep on the web resources that Meta and Instagram have. A lot of people think that it's a phone thing, so it just happens on the phone, but you really, at least from a full-time strategist perspective, I spend a lot of time on our like Meta for Business and Instagram for Business websites, just like digging into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that feature. And also, I thought it was scam or fake when somebody reached out to me from Instagram saying they granted me some credit to use it for ads and stuff. So I was like, this can be real. I mean, how does Instagram reach out to people and scheduling calls? But how do you use ads to your benefit? Like, what's the best way to use Instagram ads?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. So I actually, that same show that I did when I was at Refinery, they brought it back for season 3 and they decided to have a host, and I ended up hosting it, which was a lot of fun. This season was all about how different brands were really like finessing and like honing in on their personalized ads. And I learned so much from the experience. I got to talk to performance marketers from like Shopify and Brooklinen and all of these really amazing Instagram kind of first companies. And some of my best takeaways that I got from the whole series and experience was, one, when you're looking to find these people who might be interested in what you're selling, what you're doing, think about where those people are. For example, if I am like, right now I'm in Baltimore, I am like selling like, I don't know, like makeup or jewelry. I'm looking for people who dress like this. I might type in locations like Maryland Institute College of Art, which MICA, giant art school, I can make some kind of assumption that, hey, people who are into the arts associated or choosing to go to this school might be into this super hyper expressive makeup and jewelry that I'm doing. So don't sleep on how those physical locations really factor in how you're setting up those ads. At the end of the day, you're just helping those people find things that they're going to be obsessed with. You're doing them a favor, truthfully. So think about those location practices. I would also say take the time to A/B test. Facebook has this really awesome A/B testing tool. If you don't know what A/B testing is, essentially it's just like, hey, I have this ad that's like, I don't know, like this Winnie the Pooh mug or something. And I have this picture of it, and like maybe I'm like drinking it in one. And maybe the other version of it is just like it's sitting there by itself. I can post both versions of this ad in the A/B test, and it will tell me which version will be more likely to be successful to meet my goals. And so that's a really cool free feature that is offered. And, it just takes a little bit of time to put it in there, give the system a second to run its course, and then you go back and you kind of have some new insights and direction on what your ad should literally look like. It's super helpful.
And A/B test is at Facebook side, like when you go to the settings and you set up your ads, so that should be there, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And going to your next question, to my next question. how do you stand out in oversaturated market? Because there's so many creators now and everyone is trying to create, everyone is trying to grow. But my strategy personally was always be yourself and have your own brand, stick to your colors, stick to your songs, I guess, so people when see it and hear, they recognize you. But what is your opinion on it?
No, I agree. You do it so well. And I think that it's really like developing a reputation, whatever that means. I really don't want to be that person that's preaching like stay in your niche, because I think that's just weird. It's more so like, if you're choosing to talk about something, what is it about your experience or your point of view that is going to be insightful? And also, like, how do you caveat that it is your experience and point of view in your language? For me, I do a lot of advice graphics and videos and things, and a lot of people have advice on how to ask for more money and get a better salary. What I like to do is straight up say, hey, I tried this worked for me. I think that proof point of like, hey, I'm a living, breathing example of what I'm saying is like working. I think that's a really great way to stand out from everyone else's advice of like, try this. It's like, did you try that? You know, but also it's like, I think it's helpful as a creator, you know, to even like to say like, this did happen to me. This is something I tried or would have tried. Even just you having done the thing or having experience in the area will make you an expert that people want to trust versus somebody who is just kind of giving some lip service.
Yeah, so true. And honestly, it took me a few years to realize my brand, actually, to my message. And because before it wasn't as this like, I mean, it wasn't the same as now, because now we embrace everything. Like, my brand stands for be unique, be yourself, never basic, because embrace your individuality. And before, when I was promoting this, I did get a lot of hate for it. And I did not have many supporters, especially on Instagram, because everyone was trying to kind of blend in. They were afraid to stand out. And I read in a book in 2020, and my book was about Cutie the Unicorn. It was a kid's book. It was a Cutie the Unicorn. It's okay to be different. And I put it out there for kids to embrace their individuality, to accept and never judge, because I myself was bullied in school a lot for my style, for my personality, just because I was standing out. And that's why I decided to write the book, to embrace it and to actually get this message for kids so they don't have to feel bad if they look different, if they feel different, and they don't have to blend in. They can stand out.
I love that. I know I'm not a kid, but I'm like, I want that book. I'm such a huge children's book nerd. I feel like that's like one of my, I always say that's my like next life passion or job, to maybe be like a children's book writer or like a children's animation creator or something. It's so cool.
It has pretty colors too, and unicorns. Like, you know, everyone loves unicorns now.
Yes.
Adults do.
I love that.
It's like magical. So it is available on Amazon.
Ooh, okay. Definitely got to cop that.
Yeah. We kind of talked about growth on Instagram, but do you have any hacks to actually for Instagram growth?
Yeah. So to be honest, I have been noticing that in addition to like hashtags, just the concept of SEO is becoming more prevalent on the platform. So what you say in a video, what you write in a video might also be picked up in the algorithm to help you show up. I think that I saw like some of the Instagram experts that I follow post about that and how that shift is changing. So just being smart about keywords in your content. So yeah, just again, helping people who will probably like your stuff find it easier.
I did not know about keywords. I did not even like think about it. And talking about hashtags, are they still relevant? Can we still use, but I feel like it maybe probably increased the number of hashtags we can use now, because I do use a lot and it still allows me, because before it was limited to what, 25, 26.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a cap on how many you can use, but I definitely still use them. And even as somebody who, yes, I'm a creator, but I also spend a lot of time hiring creators. So much of the Instagram for Business page, the Meta for Business page, is filled with creators, business owners like yourself, who I've messaged and said like, hey, you do X, Y, and Z really well. Will you do a reel for us and show other small businesses how to do that? And a lot of the times I'll find them off of a hashtag. I still will think back to my refinery days, even, you know, it's a women's or women identifying based publication. And so I would look like, pretend it's like National like Cookie Day or something. I'm looking for a like woman-owned bakery. That's so specific, but I can type in the hashtag woman-owned bakery and at least have 5 pop up, and that makes my job easier. And so I still very much support hashtags. I also know that for a while people were following hashtags as a way to put their like follow the number of people that they are following. They're like, oh gosh, I'm like following too many people, so to refresh my feed I'm going to follow all these hashtags. So I say they're still alive and well. I use them, and I also put them on my posts as well.
Yeah, I do use them too. I do see many people actually follow them, like you said. Yeah. How can we extend the reach on Instagram? Because that's like hot topic for everyone. Everyone was so upset about algorithms, and also how do you hack algorithm on Instagram? Because everybody wants to know that. They think there's a bad guy algorithm sits there and does not allow anyone to see their posts and show their posts.
So I know that everybody is like, oh my gosh, everyone keeps saying this, but the way that I've seen my posts get the most reach in the past like 3 months is really just using trending sounds. I am an old school, I guess, social media editor, content creator. So I don't come from the world of pick up the phone, film it fast, and post it right away. I come from full production, sets, lights, scripts, everything is planned in advance. And so I have recently just been practicing kind of that spontaneity, that reactive kind of measure. And that mindset has helped me get into the frame to jump on these quick trends and these quick audio bites and things. I just posted something that was some audio of this woman being like, she's like getting ready, and the woman's like, suck it in. She's like, I'm not sucking it in.
Oh, girl, I loved it.
It's so funny, right?
Yeah.
But that one was viral. And, you know, like, I'm a Refinery 29 alum. I am the girl who was writing body positivity copy all day long. And so what I did with that one is, instead of, you know, like, I think the audio is like, real stomachs is coming back, I kind of turned it on its head and put some copy in there that was like, I'm loving my body at every stage and size, and forget your fat phobia, whatever. And so putting my own spin on that and posting it fast. Like, I probably saw that audio like maybe a few days ago. And sometimes I'll even just be scrolling and make it on the spot now. I'm like, who am I? I'm feeling very Gen Z these days.
You know, I'm like you. I was like you as far as production and set and plan it ahead. But now, yeah, you have to be like more spontaneous. And even I see some of my friends on TikTok, they're like, we just pick up the sound. And I posted this video, I got so many views. How?
It's letting go. It's like, it's letting go and recognizing, like, I feel like we as social media marketers, we are always preaching to clients, to other people, like, oh, it's the name of the game. Be nimble, be okay with things changing. That's just social. And we as social media marketers and creators, especially like old school, like millennials who have been doing this for maybe 10 years, we are being challenged almost even more so in this way of like, no, girl, you have to rethink it because things are changing. And I'll admit, I was one of the girls who was like, I don't want to do that. I want to go on set and have this be a big, expensive production. But that's just not the world we live in anymore. And, you know, when you just have that mindset switch, that reach is going to come.
Yeah, that's the key, I think. And sometimes I see those videos, they're very, I mean, just regular videos, nothing special, no background, no setup, and someone just saying something, and it goes viral. I see the people reposting it like crazy, and I was like, there's nothing special about it, but there is like some thought to it. And it's just somebody just filmed it in a second and posted it, not even thinking how it looks. So
it's so true. My biggest tip for like, I guess just like the hot girls out there, you know, those girls, I'm one of those girls, so I don't feel bad saying this. You know, those girls who post their Instagram stories and it's literally just them doing a selfie video. If you're one of those girls or one of those guys and you post a bunch of selfie videos, go back through your phone or go back through your stories archives and download those cute 7-second little selfie videos where you're just like, damn, my makeup and hair just looked really good. And I had no reason to post this. I just posted it on my stories. Download all of those videos right now and think of some cute little quick mantras, cute little things you would tweet, throw some text on it, and you are done. You have created content and it's going to perform better than what you made in the studio. And it really pissed me off, but I just had to let it go and get with the mindset shift. But that's my tip.
That's the best tip, and I know it works because I've done it too. I had some videos in my archives and I just like combine it all or just like posted one and added stuff to it, and it did work. So that's the best tip actually. Oh, there's huge thing going on, like petition, whatever, everyone is trying to sign it or just saying it, that let's bring Instagram back again. So everyone used to see just pictures on Instagram, and now it's like kind of like TikTok, all the reels, and now people even overdo with reels. They just start posting reels only, no pictures. I kind of try to mix them all. I want to post some pictures still because it's still Instagram, and some people post just reels because they perform better. But what do you think? Should we go back to our old Instagram ways but having just pictures?
So I like I told you earlier, I am somebody who was totally a big graphic designer back in the day. And so I loved posting like image-based things. And so I'll be honest with you, I have no say in how it changes. So the way that I think about it is just like, okay, this is just the way it is now. How can I hack it with the stuff that I like to post or like to do? And so one of the best ways that I've like done it is if I'm like, okay, I'm going out with my girls and I know that I'm going to make them take some pictures of me or something. I make sure I have at least like 5 really good ones so that I can put all of them together 9x16s and do a slideshow. It doesn't have to feel like some like PowerPoint thing, but just like do them really fast and time them with a song. And that way it's still like, it's just photos. And also it's the same concept as a carousel. It's just going to get more views. So I really think about just like how to hack the idea of utilizing photos or utilizing graphics. I don't think I've posted any in a while, but for a while I was like, dang, I really miss graphic design. Like when I was at Refinery, so much of my day was like thinking of little like mantras like, don't forget who the fuck you are, you got this, girl, type of shit. And like I went on I got on the computer and just made a couple of, you know, quotes, and instead of putting them on like a designed background that I've made, I'll find some stock video or like put it on top of like I know a lot of people use Canva, but Canva has like free video, like just like moving backgrounds. But even putting like a tweet, the tweet staying still, but like the video is moving behind it or something. It's like behind some video of water, but just really getting creative and turning the idea of a video on its head, because it doesn't really even have to feel like some like start to finish, middle and like full composed video. It can feel like a static post that like has one little twinkle or something, like, I don't know. So just being open to what is working now, I would say, is my best advice.
And does Instagram favors some videos or some content more than other? And is shadow ban still real?
So I was told even before I worked there that shadow banning was not real. That I also have learned since as well that there is technically not one algorithm to blame. There are bunches of different algorithms. There's like one for almost every, what they call surface, or what I call sometimes feature. So the stories out, there's a stories algorithm, which stories you see. That's separate from the explore page algorithm, which you see on your explore. That's separate from what you see when you're scrolling just reels. So I honestly feel like when people say the algorithm, it low-key is a lazy excuse for like, low-key, maybe your content is just not there. And like, I feel like nobody really wants to say that, but it's like, the T is there are so many opportunities to pop off on the platform in terms of like literally different spaces. That is like, maybe actually just rethink the strategy. And again, I was one of those people who was like, oh, like I'm not a TikToker. I'm a millennial girl who loves her Instagram, and I wanted to stay like this. And like when I started letting go and just being like, okay, you are a social media marketer. If you want to still have a job in this field, like you have to learn how to be nimble, and you have to learn how to change that mindset. And so that's really where I've been with it all.
Another really important question. Everyone is really concerned because when I was starting back in 2016, I was posting every day and twice a day. It was giving me like anxiety. Oh my God, I didn't post today. It's so crazy. I'm missing out. And now like I kind of post every 2 days, every 3 days, maybe, like not as much as I used to. And people are still arguing this question. Should we post every day or should we post less? How does it impact our account? How does it help to grow?
So the amount you post, in my opinion, is less important than the quality of content you post. Because going back to the algorithm, the like people's, what's it called, timeline, their home timeline algorithm is really determined by signals. So let's do mine, for example. Based on all the stuff that I'm searching, liking, all the people I'm DMing, all of my interactions, all of those signals that make my account will show me things. And so if my best friend posts a video like twerking on a boat like 3 days ago, I'm still going to see that before I see somebody I follow who I don't really interact with a lot, or like whose content is just like, okay, cute, like I met them one time, but I don't really love what they post. Also, if you are somebody who like, if your followers are people who are getting on Instagram all the time, that also makes a difference. Like, for example, when I take a break from Instagram, my timeline will try to catch me up. It'll be like, oh, she ain't been here in some time. And so it's going to back pull all of the good posts that they thought I would have liked for the past week or something. Whereas if I'm on every day, it might be a little bit more chronological than the next person. So what you decide to post and when you decide to post, me as your follower and the next girl as your follower, how they receive it is all based on how they've interacted on their own account. You see what I'm saying? So as you as the creator, I wouldn't even worry about when you're posting. Just make sure what you're posting is good enough to hit that explore page or to keep being circulated, you know? I hope that was helpful. I feel like my brain got a little scrambled.
It is, because sometimes I see posts from people and they've been posted like 2 days ago and I was like, why do I see it? But now you explain it, now I know why. And
yeah, it's like maybe that person or that brand, like the algorithm knows like, oh yeah, like she looks at their stuff. She would be interested in this, that she missed this or something. So
Yeah.
it tries to help you out based on the way you use Instagram. So the algorithm, I know I work there, so it's also like, girl, you drinking the Kool-Aid, but it really is the idea. Like when those people get in the lab to think about like what this code looks like, they're not like, let's just fuck with people. Like they're engineers through, like I don't work with them, but they literally are like, how can I write code to make sure every individual person on this platform is getting the content they would like to see? And so if you don't like the content you're seeing, ask yourself what you've actually been spending time on, what you've actually been liking. Like I heard some guy say like, oh, my whole Instagram feed is just booty pictures. And I'm like, what you been liking? Like it's one of those. So.
And does time of posting still mean something? And because I know people say, well, for East Coast, it's 12 p.m. Eastern time, lunchtime, everybody's on Instagram. It's the busiest time. I guess the West Coast got the same, jump on the same wagon. So they do it at 9 a.m. their time. And they were saying, like, I used to do 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 5 p.m. So does it still matter? Because I see some people just say post whatever fits best your schedule, whatever works for you. But what is the strategy behind it?
I say post whenever it works for you, just because, again, if somebody isn't super engaged in your content, they're not going to see it anyway until maybe like a while from now, until they've seen the people's posts who the algorithm decides is the most important to them, but the people who are like your super fans, they're going to see that whether you posted it at midnight, noon, anytime, like no matter what time you posted it, the algorithm is going to help you find them, if that makes sense. So I would say at this point in the social game, you should post based on what you and your team have the bandwidth to do.
No, I see. And do you still add hashtags to your stories? Will that help to get more visibility for your stories? Because I know when I add location, and I do add hashtags too, it does help, but sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes when I travel, I post a new location, I get all these story views, and I was like, wow, where did this come from?
Yeah. So when you go to the hashtag page, there should be some like aggregated story with everyone who used that one. So that's just another location for an algorithm to pick up your post. So I would say you should still use them. Definitely the location tool, that is the same thing. It aggregates them all. So if someone is just looking at like, I don't know, insert whatever hotel in Tulum, they can be like, oh, that's what people do there. Oh, same with, a lot of people know the hashtag, a lot of people know the location sticker, but a lot of people don't always think about the stickers. The best example I could think of is like not last month, it's August now. But in June around Pride, Instagram released these really cute, like not gifts, but like actual stickers in stories and in reels or what have you. And in stories, I know that if you use some of those Pride stickers, they aggregate into a larger Pride story in your area. And so your Instagram story even gets this new like rainbow ring around the circle. You've seen those. And so my Pride stories, they did so well. They're probably my highest viewed stories in the whole month because they were all tagged with the Pride sticker.
Yeah, I used it too. It did help. It did get many views on those stories too. And there is, for some holidays, they do that too. So I always try to use that feature.
Yes, always use those.
And another thing people argue about, because we use sometimes the Planoly and Later and all those apps that help you to schedule posts in advance, and they actually do automated posts for you. And sometimes people seen it when they posted those apps that engagement and everything goes down. And they say that it's better to post manually than use those apps, or maybe you can schedule those apps, but actually to post it yourself. Do you believe in this, or is just a myth?
I'm not I don't know what the truth is, but I don't believe in it, only because if I was Instagram, and I know that specifically Later and Planoly are like legitimate third party like partners or something, like they have some like stamp of like some authenticity, and I just don't know why you would be like, okay, yeah, like we're actually gonna do this, and then like, haha, we're gonna like make this harder. So like I don't see that making sense business wise. I switched from Planoly. I've done Dash Hudson, I've done Planoly. I had a Planoly for myself for a little bit that I like wasn't super using a bunch, but I recently got on the Later train just because I've been trying to work on my like creator presence across multiple platforms, and you can also schedule LinkedIn posts on Later in a way that like Planoly doesn't really like offer. So right now I'm team Later. It always changes.
And if someone would like to have a career in your field, is it possible? How do they start? Because for many people, it feels like it's unreal to work for Instagram. And if someone would like to do the same, how would they start?
So there are a million ways that people end up at a company like this. My route was kind of like through the media world. A lot of people who I work with come from like the fashion world, or come from like, I don't know, the movie world. And essentially it's like just really knowing how Instagram and Facebook play a role in that specific industry. And so I would say that you don't have to like graduate school or pop out of wherever being like, I automatically know I want to be working at Instagram, doing whatever. Because when I was like, I don't know what I would do at Instagram, run their Instagram account. Like, I don't know. Like I'm a magazine girl, but there's so many jobs for everybody, if that makes sense. It's so many teams. So as long as you have become an expert at whatever it is that you do, and you know how that business ties back into Instagram, that's going to be your best foot in the door. Now, if you are like an app coder, that advice was probably so different from you. But you know, one way that I really think is like helpful that I haven't seen a ton of people doing, but I think it's cool. I don't know if you're familiar with Taylor Lorenz, but she is a tech writer at the Washington Post. And I think that a lot of media people who are interested in moving into tech think about how your everyday beats can tie in with tech, so you can start getting some tech related bylines under your belt. You know, when I was at Elle and places back in the day, I was writing about how or what's her name, Gigi Hadid, like left Instagram, and the mental health ramifications, and how Selena Gomez and The Weeknd were like dating, and how I scoured their whole Instagram to like figure out and put two and two together, but like find those ways to tie tech back in with what you're already doing, and that will help bridge the gap to becoming a tech, whatever this is, tech person. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great advice. And going to Instagram and mental wellness.
Yeah.
It's everyone, you know, this app, it can be very beneficial, but it can be also sucking you in. And if you don't know where to stop, then you might run into mental health issues, not issues, but just overwhelming yourself.
Yeah.
And I really had to like set boundaries, because before I would spend so much time on it, well, actually working on it, but I know some people just on it for fun. And I know some days I start to do like social media detox days when I don't go on social media for a few hours. And it did help me, because before, you know, it was a little bit overwhelming when you're on it for so long, and you see so much, and it just like overwhelms your brain. What do you suggest? I know you work for Instagram, but still, I know I heard also some theories that Instagram will be setting some times that where you have to like be on it, or you can just like set your boundaries or timers, how much you could be on the app, but not sure about this.
Yeah. So there is currently available this tool on Instagram called the Take a Break tool. And you can set it to a time. So like maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes, or I don't know the increments exactly, but I typically have mine like set to like a 30-minute. I mean, I do work for Instagram, so I do need to spend at least like 30 minutes researching stuff. But it will pop up and say like, hey, like your break time. And it's nice because, you do get in those kind of like what they call the doom scroll, and you're just going and going and going, and there's nothing to kind of like poke you and tap you out of that. And so I do really love that tool. And it was one of those things I believe they developed directly in response to like human need. People just needed it.
I love that they have it now. I didn't know actually about it. I heard about it, but I haven't used it. I need to try it too.
I'll show you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Laurise, for being my guest. And thank you so much for sharing so much great stuff about my favorite subject, because it's been my career for the past 5 years, and I've been on it, spending my lifetime.
You do it well.
Thank you. And where can our listeners find you? Your social handles, all your information.
Yes. So I am at Laurise IRL. LAURISEIRL. I don't know if I needed to spell that, but I just did.
Cool. Thank you so much.